just pause for a second and think about this question. Have you ever played it safe? And you might be sitting here going, it's safe. I mean, okay, let me try it in a different way. Let's try this question. Have you ever done what other people were? It was the best practice, right? I mean, why wouldn't you follow it is the best practice. Believe it or not, following the best way of playing it safe. My name is Donna St. Louis, and I am a part of Chanel's new challenge. So you can go check out dareyouchallenge.com. Prompt for today is, tell me about opportunities you missed. You were playing it safe. And it took me a second to think about that, because really, really good about taking risks for a while now. So please been in my vernacular for a very long time. And then I remembered when and how much it cost me. So back in the day, we're going to say 12, 13 years ago, I had long, straight hair. And listen, if you know anybody with curly hair, they're sitting there going, oh my God, did you wear it like that every day? And I wore it like that every single day. Yes, my hair is naturally dark and curly. I also wore pearls, and I had pearl ears. I wore, the Hillary Clinton Teletubby suit, right? So the whole monochromatic with loafers. And you might go, well, that's not unsafe your style. It was 100% not my style. And one of the jokes that people like to say, they're like, Donna's like a very professional business person, dominatrix rocker. Like, that is her style. I mean, these are the shoes that I wear around the house just to hang out. Okay. So why were you like that? Well, when I first retired from my business, because I sold my business intelligence company back when I was 39, I had gotten into the speaking industry. I was doing really what everyone else, the people who were on the stage, unless you were talking about diversity and inclusion or something that was based on a specific demographic, like women in business or minorities or whatever part, if you weren't in that particular niche, you were white, mostly male, not male, right? Mostly male, blonde eyes, right? So there was a very specific demographic that went along with what I spoke about. Was more hard hitting stuff in business, sales, revenue acceleration. If I was going to talk about anything else, then it would have been okay. But in this particular weekend, I had to look. There was a certain way that people looked, and you know what they did? They didn't look like me. And so I showed up looking like and acting like someone else. So I would get on stage, and I had it all. I had the stage presence. I stood up properly. I used the left, the right. I knew to look at the people over there and then walk over this side and talk like that, and the proper way to read, chuckle, laugh, and all the things, jokes. You have to play it. I was playing it safe, riskiest thing, because I was putting all of me in this tiny little box. I hated it. And you know what? So did my audience. See, even though I was getting some bookings, I wasn't getting, people can see you. They can see when you're holding back or hiding something. I could see that I was holding back or hiding something. And I would a little from the stage. People, I just felt, God, I'm really good, but I'm not crushing the stage. And it just wasn't connecting all the rules. I was following all the rules. I watched my match. I showed up early. I wore the right clothes. I did all things. I shook hands. I kissed. I was a newscaster, politician on stage with absolutely no person. It was horrible. Not just for them, for me. But I wanted it. And it's going to go on and ask the door. I wasn't going to be a speaker anymore. So I was a little speaker outfit. It wasn't working for me. This box freaking sucked. Honestly, it was so uncomfortable to live in. So I decided to shed the fake skin. I remember cutting my hair. This long blonde straight hair that I had forever. I went back to my natural color. I got rid of the stuff I'm a little bit more comfortable with. I put on my regularly scheduled 6-inch heels. Right? I wore clothes that I was comfortable in. I remember walking on stage in this black dress with bolero and these big earrings. Like, this is my joint. This is me. This is who I am. The gentleman that was getting ready to put up those PowerPoint slides, I'm like, I'm gonna pause you right there, buddy. Those down. He goes, you got a 90-minute presentation. I said, and I am 90 minutes already. We're gonna need you to shut down those slides. And I had the event planner, when she saw me, I said, she goes, did you get a haircut? I was like, put your effort. Get a haircut. It's like, and I said, listen, don't worry, I'm gonna crush it. I got you. And she looked at me and she's like, okay. Right. I can only imagine that over in the background of a heart attack. I swear to you. I think she was dying a little bit. But I was literally on this. I've got to bring more than this wasn't. And I remember this speech that I was supposed to give this homeless teenager at 19 to building this $250 million tech consulting, and just sharing the journey. And went on stage, and while I shared that story, what I explained to people was, I'm here and I can tell you the story. And quite honestly, the story doesn't matter. I did that then, that you couldn't follow those exact steps today and get the same results. So this there absolutely does not matter. But you know what does matter? What does matter is how I leverage that mindset to do things like walk in a room and sell a $4 million and $6 million program, when quite honestly, heard of that kind of money. What will help you is understanding how my sales the game for a little girl who had never made more than a couple of $100 a week. Come across from someone and negotiate millions of dollars like it's nobody's business. For me, the stations that are completely game changing. I said, and now ever in my entire life, be able to do that exact same thing in my. And I remember saying something like, pretty wild crowd, which was really awesome. And no one really cares about your excuses, because a lack of priority. And what you're really telling me when you give me not prioritizing your success, your win, your next step, or even what the hell. While you sit there with your bullshit excuses, what I'm going to do is go and talk to the person who has parties. And then I realized that I said bullshit. I paused like, oh my God, I can't believe I never say that on stage. I should have kept on the Teletubby outfit. That's all I was thinking. It was probably only about 5 seconds of silence, but to me, it felt like a silence. And I remember in that moment, like right when all of a sudden, like a bunch of people started standing up and clapping. And I was like, yes, it's okay, yes. Moment where I'm going to sit here and go, it was a well-planned moment of action. It was not this well-planned moment of action. To go on stage and be me in front of thousands of people. Quite honestly, that they would hate this package because the package was safe and I was no longer safe. Motivational. I was a little bit more provocative. I wasn't saying what I was saying things that they hadn't heard before. But then I discovered something. I didn't have to say what everyone else was saying because I hadn't gone through therapy. Many people could say they were homeless at 19 and sold a $250 million business. They sure ain't going to come out of my mouth. And what comes out of my mouth, they probably can't say. Play it so damn safe when I had never played it safe before. So for Chanel's Double Dog Dare You Challenge, or my answer is I lost the most opportunities someone I wasn't. That one particular event day that I chose to be 100% authentically me on that stage changed the trajectory of my second career. All saying, I need to book you. I need to have you on stage, kind of whatever. And I go, oh, it's called testicular fortitude and ovarian audacity. Using my language. And my audience, my real fans, absolutely, by the way, they could kick rocks. They weren't my fans anyway. I soon learned there are going to be people who love you and people who hate you regardless. So you might as well present authentically you. And if you have to be someone else, they didn't want you in the first place. I would dare you right now, Dare You Challenge. Go to dareyouchallenge.com. Sign up for Chanel's challenge. Be authentic with your audience. If we really want to stop putting fake bullshit out here, at some point, we got to be open and free enough to answer some real questions possible. By the way, this hair ain't never going to be long, blonde, and straight again, and I'm girls again. And I'm going to be kicking it in 6-inch heels until my doctor says ankles on a regular basis. And then they'll just have to push me around in a wheelchair. And if you want to know what I do, just check out firebrand.net. And if you want a sales speaker who's not going to, but someone who's really going to kind of shake people up a bit, I'll talk to you later. Have a fantastic